All right, let's get right into it. So, back in 1938, Napoleon Hill writes this book that was so intense, so controversial, it was actually kept hidden for over 70 years. And this thing, it's not your typical success guide. No, it's framed as an interrogation, a confession from the one force that holds us all back. This is Outwitting the Devil.
I mean, the whole idea is just wild, right? Hill sets up the entire book as this direct, face-to-face interview where he literally sits down and forces the devil to spill all his secrets, all his secret weapons for controlling humanity. It's a really dramatic way to get us to look at our own fears, our doubts, and our failures.
But let's be super clear about something. The devil we're talking about here isn't the guy with the pitchfork and horns. Not at all. He's a metaphor, a really powerful one, for the negative side of our own minds. You know, it's that inner enemy, that voice that tells you to procrastinate, to doubt yourself, to give in to fear. It's the part of us we all struggle with.
So, if this devil is really just a part of our own mind, how does it get so much power over us? Well, Hill makes him confess his main tools of the trade, his weapons of control.
And the very first confession is just staggering. The devil claims to control 98% of all people. Just let that sink in for a second. That's basically everyone. A claim that huge is meant to make you stop in your tracks and ask a really important question.
Right? How can one force, even a metaphorical one, have a grip on nearly every single person on the planet? Well, according to Hill's devil, it's not through some big, complicated, evil master plan. It's actually way simpler, and because of that, way more sinister.
The devil's number one weapon is a habit. A habit so common, so normal, so seemingly harmless that most of us don't even have a clue that we're completely trapped by it. And here it is. The master weapon is drifting. Drifting is just the habit of moving through your life without a major purpose, without a plan, without any real aim. Think of it like being a passenger in your own car. When you're not steering, any current can pull you along, and that current is exactly what the devil controls.
So what does a drifter look like? Do any of these sound a little familiar? There's no major purpose driving them. There's a serious lack of self-confidence. They tend to avoid anything that requires real thought and effort. They hate making definite decisions. And they're always full of excuses for why they failed. It's a life of just reacting, not creating.
And here's the absolute key to all of this. The devil's power isn't something he forces on us. It's a power we just give away. It's a surrender by default. We drift, we don't bother to control our own thoughts, and that creates a vacuum that negativity just loves to rush into. Okay, so drifting is how he gets his foot in the door. But how does this passive habit turn into a permanent prison? Well, the devil's next confession reveals this universal law of nature, a law that can either build you a palace or a prison cell. It all depends on the habits you feed it. It all starts so small. It starts with a single thought. You know, a thought of doubt or fear, or I'll do it later. You repeat that thought enough times and it starts to carve a little path in your brain. It becomes your go-to response. It becomes a habit.
And if you let that habit run on autopilot for long enough, it develops its own momentum. It becomes an unconscious part of who you are. It becomes a rhythm.
And this is the master lock on the prison door, the law of hypnotic rhythm. Basically, nature takes whatever you do most, your dominant habits, good or bad, and just puts them on autopilot. It makes them permanent. So for a drifter, this law cements that aimlessness and fear right into their core, creating a prison they can't even see.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty intense, I know. But the whole point of this book isn't to scare you, it's to arm you. There is a way out. There is a way to break free. And the devil himself is forced to admit what his one great weakness is.
And there it is. That's the secret. The one thing the devil cannot control is a person who thinks for themselves. Someone who takes conscious, active control of their own mind. That is the key that unlocks the whole prison. So if drifting is the poison, what's the antidote? It's simple. Definiteness of purpose. It's knowing exactly what you want, creating a plan to get there, and moving toward it on purpose. It's grabbing the steering wheel of your own life and driving.
And having a purpose, well, that's just step one. Hill lays out a whole blueprint for freedom. And it's not just about setting a goal. It's about building the character you need to actually achieve it. We're talking mastery over self, controlling your emotions instead of letting them control you. We're talking about learning from adversity, seeing every setback as just feedback, not the end of the world. It's about consciously controlling your environment and your time, because those things will shape you whether you like it or not. It's a whole system for taking back control.
So look, this isn't just about understanding some theory from a book written decades ago. This is about you. This is about turning that knowledge into a weapon you can use against your own inner drift. And it starts right now.
This right here is the mindset of a non-drifter. Defeat is just an event. It's not who you are. When a plan doesn't work out, you don't just give up on the goal. No, you find a new plan, you adjust, you persevere, you keep moving forward with purpose.
So let's make this really personal. I want you to ask yourself this question, and be honest. Where are you drifting? Where is fear, or doubt, or just plain indecision, making you a passenger instead of the pilot? Is it in your career, your relationships, your health? Where is it for you?
The fight against your inner devil, against your own drift, it doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts with the very next decision you make. Define one small purpose. Take one deliberate action. Start taking charge of your own mind. Outwit it. Today.